If you're listening to the replay, what up, what up, what up? Welcome to 2 Cents Boxing, where we talk everything boxing and everybody's entitled to their own opinion. In today's live, we will be reviewing this Devin Haney documentary that was just posted. This will be a live reaction video. I haven't seen the documentary, I just heard about it. So we're going to go through it together. But be sure and let me know and drop it below your 2 cents as we go throughout the live. Let me see who's all in the building. First, let me get a mic check. If everybody can hear me, put a 1 in the chat, please. Let me get a sound check. Let's see who we got in the building. We got all things in the building. What's going on? Barbara D, what's up? H Money, what's up? What's up? What's up? We got Brian King B Falcon. What's going on? What is going on? All right, everybody can hear me. Edward Morris, what's going on? H Money say two. What Devin Haney documentary we talking about, man? I came across a documentary on YouTube that this channel put up called Exodus Files. Now, I guess it's a new channel. Is they only got the Devin Haney documentary on the video. So We're gonna run through it today. Let's see. H Money say drop the link. I'm gonna drop the link for you. Now, hopefully, I'm definitely under the impression that you can, you know, react to videos. So I hope when I go through this video, it don't get no copyright strike or nothing like that. There is the link to the documentary for those that are asking for it, but hopefully you stick around so we can go through it together. Man, before we get started, this Devin Haney thing, man, is just can y'all hear me? Hello, hello. Mic check, mic check. Can y'all hear me now? Put a one in the chat if we back in live. Put a one in the chat if we back in live. Mic check, mic check. All right, we back. Y'all can hear me. Man, that was crazy. Know what was going on? Give me a second. Let me fix my headphones real quick. Thank y'all for being patient with me. I don't know what's going on, but give me a second. All right, all right, all right. All right. Ashley's Corner, what's going on? Lenovo, what's up? B Dog, Healer the Teacher, what is going on? I get a thumb up for the title Creativity. All right, here we go. So I don't know what's the last thing y'all heard me say, but I was just running down this Devin Haney, Ryan Garcia drama that we've been going through, and they seem to have hijacked boxing. I came across a documentary that was posted about 2 days ago from this channel, The Exodus Files. Hopefully, I don't get copyrighted or whatever the case may be, but I think you can live react to stuff on YouTube without getting a copyright strike or nothing like that. Yolanda Dixon, what's going on? So, as I was saying, everybody have their own opinions about what's going on with the situation. Um, if y'all want to hear my 2 cents about it, like I said before, nobody wins in this situation. Devin Haney might have took some extensive damage in this fight, and who knows how he's going to look as he continues to fight. And Ryan Garcia, regardless of the reason, if it's contamination, if he did it on purpose, he needs to be punished, and he will always be labeled as a cheater. Yolanda Dixon, what's going on? D Ray live on the drive. What's up with you? Welcome everybody to the chat. I see a lot of people asking about the documentary. TNT 380, what's going on? So they probably haven't seen it. It's about a 40-minute documentary. But before we get started on the documentary, y'all drop y'all 2 cents in the comments to kind of let me know what y'all think about the situation. Do you think uh, Ryan Garcia is guilty? Do you think that that's the only reason why he won the fight is because he had to take PEDs in order to beat Devin Haney? What are y'all thoughts about the fight? Because honestly, before the fight, I was picking Ryan to win the fight. Well, I was actually saying, if the fight goes to decision, I believe that will mean that Devin Haney has outboxed Ryan Garcia for all 12 rounds and he wins the fight. The last thing I thought was going to happen was that Ryan Garcia was going to win the fight on a decision, right? I thought that Ryan Garcia might be able to catch Devin Haney with that left hook and knock him out and be able to win the fight. So those were my thoughts about the fight before the fight. And I just want to say too that a lot of people are saying that people are hating on Devin Haney and this and this and that, but I don't think people are taking into account that Ryan Garcia is more popular than Devin Haney, and that's one of the reasons why he's getting the grace or the quote unquote benefit of the doubt that he's getting. And on top of that, Devin Haney is allegedly one of the faces of boxing, quote unquote. He's one of the greats of the era of the time right now. And you would have to expect this type of backlash or this quote unquote type of hate, because when you're on top, this is what happens. Imagine if Tank Davis loses a fight and we find out that his opponent took PEDs. It'll probably be the same type of reaction. Imagine if Floyd Mayweather would have lost the fight and we found out that somebody that beat Floyd Mayweather was on PEDs. Nobody would really care. Nobody will really care. So a lot of times when you're the face of something, when you're great at something, when you're at the top of something, it's a lot of people that want to see you fall from grace, regardless of how that's done. So they're obviously going to take the opposite side of what's going on. So let's just keep that in mind as you're listening to people's opinions about this. And people are entitled to their own opinion, especially over here at Two Cents Boxing at this channel. If you believe Ryan Garcia cheated and that's why he beat Devin Haney, then that's what it is. Because at this point in what's going on, it is whatever you think it is. You know what I'm saying? People are all presented with the same facts. We're all presented with the same information, and people have whatever they think about it. So Ashley's Corner says, I don't believe anything, but Ryan DNA won him the fight. Everything that happened during that fight was going to happen regardless. B-Dog say, in the beginning, I thought he might have done it on purpose, but with more info coming out, I'm a lot less inclined to believe it. B-Dog say, I'm just going to wait to see how this investigation wraps up and accept whatever they determine. And a lot of people have a problem when you say that. When you say things like that, they're like, oh, you're defending the cheater. You're defending the cheater. Some people just want to wait on the facts. Some people just want to wait on the facts. If you believe he's a cheater, he's a cheater. Regardless of the situation, of my understanding, New York has a zero tolerance policy. So whatever the reasoning is, Ryan Garcia will be punished. Devin getting dissed because he diss fighters all the time, before, during, and after the loss. Devin has no mercy, either does Bill. And this is my thing about Bill Haney and Devin Haney with the cheating thing right now. And I hate when I have to preface stuff like, I'm not defending Ryan. Listen, I'm not defending Ryan. If you think I'm defending Ryan, it is whatever you think it is. But for Devin and Bill to despise cheating so much, or not give people an opportunity to go to the due process, I think it's a little hypocritical to be associated with Victor Conte, who is one of the best cheats we've had in sports in the last century, I guess you could say. And then on top of that, you got Alicia Baumgartner in your camp, who just popped for PEDs, who got who got vindicated by a hair follicle test. So it's a lot of things that's kind of hypocritical and contradictory with the Haneys and PEDs and cheating. So, I mean, I understand everybody, Andre Noble, what up? I understand everybody wants a fair shot, which is fair. And I understand that, everybody wants an even playing field. But you got to understand, like, and Eddie Hearn. On top of that, we got Eddie Hearn thrown in the mix, when I can name a number of your fighters that have popped dirty, in which you wanted their due process. Right now, you have a fighter going through a process, Connor Ben, that can't even fight in the UK. He's suspended in the UK. He has to fight in the United States because he popped dirty for something and can't even fight in his own home country. So a lot of this is coming off as a little hypocritical about the PEDs and not letting the whole due process go through because of who you affiliated and associated with, right? And that's just my 2 cents about the situation. It's just all around weird. This whole situation has been weird since the announcement since Ryan Garcia pulled out of the fight. And I just want to give boxers, I don't want to use the word advice, but I just want to give some boxers my 2 cents. If you're scheduling to fight somebody and they pull out of the fight and then come back to the table to negotiate again, just let it go. Just let it go. Because what I've seen is that this pulling out the fight and then coming back to fight, it hasn't done people very well. It hasn't done people very well. So anybody else want to drop their 2 cents about the fight? I'm gonna start trying to queue up this documentary. Y'all bear with me. Slogan 1, what's going on? I'm still trying to maneuver this thing. You get what I'm saying? Trying to figure out how to do this StreamYard. So let me share my screen real quick. I'm gonna start the documentary. I want to get a sound check. I want to get a sound check. Okay, there we go. So let me read a couple of things. Let's see. What's up, Hiller, the teacher? He say Baumgartner didn't do a hair follicle test. She did an independent testing company that was approved. His B sample came back clean, unlike Ryan. Oh, okay. Her B sample came back clean. Really, her B sample came back clean. And if you go back and watch my videos, I had a video I did about Baumgartner in which I reacted and responded the same way, because I was following the Baumgartner thing, and somebody had came out and said that Baumgartner was trying to leave Eddie Hearn and sign with somebody else, and then all of a sudden she popped dirty for the test. So I did a video, and then also the testing company that Eddie Hearn was using has been in trouble before for mishandling samples and stuff like that. So I did a video saying, kind of what's going on with this. It's kind of strange, right? So a lot of people feel like, oh, y'all don't give other fighters this grace and this and that. Well, I do. I mean, I look at everything. I look at all aspects of everything when something like this goes down, because you got to pay attention. I'm not defending anybody. I mean, I like Devin Haney as a fighter. I like Ryan Garcia as a fighter. I'm not a super fan of neither one. I wouldn't have felt no type of way if either one won or lost. So I'm not on any other side of this. Now I got my qualms about Bill Haney. I got my qualms about the way they go about marketing themselves, but it is what it is. But if you want to market yourself as the bad guy, the boogeyman, when stuff like this goes down, it kind of should be expected. Just to give my 2 cents. What you heard, Barbara D? All right, here we go. So let me see if I can make this a little bigger. All right. Let me know if y'all can hear it.
There is something strange about this picture of Devin Haney. But what is it? What could it be? This man knows what's strange about this picture of Devin Haney, and so do we. And after watching his video, you will know too. Soon you will also know the significance of this picture of Ryan Garcia. There is something very bizarre going on here, and we now have a public split between two sides in a peculiar case in boxing, the Devin Haney side and the Ryan Garcia side. And now you get to hear things from the perspective of an insider. Pay close attention to what you are about to see and what you are about to hear, because it will likely change your perspectives on one of the most important conflicts in current boxing history. To begin, I only want you to think about one word, because that word is the most important word of this entire segment. Wait. Devin Haney just took his first official loss at the hands of Ryan Garcia on April 20th, 2024. There was wild controversy leading up to this fight, including serious threats.
And I'm sending my son to go kill him. It's going to be a homicide on April the 20th.
Insults.
Tomorrow, the world will see that I'm levels above this average fighter.
And weight problems. Ryan Garcia did not make the official weigh-in limit of 140 pounds.
Y'all heard him say he's sending them in the ring to go kill him? Can y'all hear me? Hey, and be sure to punch that like button and hit that subscribe button if you haven't subscribed already. And if you're listening to the replay of this live, make sure you let me know and drop it below your 2 cents as we go throughout the video.
Haney weighed in at 140 pounds and Ryan Garcia weighed in at 143 pounds. Ryan Garcia paid 7 figures to Team Haney for the 3-pound discrepancy. The Haneys took the financial settlement and agreed to continue with the fight with no problem. Although Ryan missed weight, most observers thought that the 3 pounds would make no difference, because most observers thought that Ryan Garcia was simply outmatched in this contest against Devin Haney. The Haneys clearly stated.
Now, y'all let me know and drop it below. What do y'all think about, they renegotiated the contract. They took the, financial, whatever you want to call it, to continue on with the fight. And then they backdoored and was like, in their complaint that they gave to the athletic commission, they said, oh, where he came in 3 pounds overweight. When they were trying to get the win, they're like, oh, where he came in overweight. Like, what do y'all think about that? I was speaking to my brother about that earlier, and he said, Well, they were cool with the overweight, but then when he came in and they found out he was on PEDs, that kind of took him coming in overweight to a whole nother level. So let me know and drop it below what y'all think about that.
The 3 pounds would not matter.
At any point, did you consider not taking the fight, considering he missed weight by over 3?
Of course not. It don't matter what weight what weight he came in. I'm a true champion, and I will show it.
Here is where things get very bizarre. After the embarrassing beating Devin Haney took from Ryan Garcia, the narrative suddenly changed. Devin Haney mentioned the word weight multiple times post-fight, alluding to the idea that weight was the reason he lost.
He didn't make weight, so I'm still the champion.
Many fans and sports analysts began to even say that Ryan Garcia cheated, or Ryan Garcia had an unfair advantage, including retired professional boxer Timothy Bradley.
Ryan went in the ring with an advantage, people. It's all about this. You step into the ring, you have an advantage over somebody that actually made the weight, and it was a tough way in for Devin Haney. That is victory right here. I'll give you credit for it, but with an asterisk next to it. I'm telling you right now, guys, my man cheated. He set this up.
Here.
Now, my question is, you went into a fight with a disadvantage because you believed that Ryan Garcia making the weight, what didn't matter, right? You just said it yourself. Y'all heard him say it. It don't matter what way he come in at, because I'm going blah, 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 blah. You get what I'm saying? Barbara D says the Haneys are hypocrites. They had no problem with receiving the payment and agreed to fight anyway. He was very confident that he was still going to be able to beat Ryan, even though he missed the weight. Now, when you add the PEDs to the conversation, does that change that? That's the question. Does that change that? Lenovo says yes, but Ryan has a shirt that reads RIP Devin Haney, 1994-2004 on the back and on the front. Murder on my mind. None of these said this when Dev came in overweight. B-Dog says they shouldn't complain about the 3 pounds, in my opinion. Now, I do understand that cutting the weight and missing the weight and all of that stuff is a big deal. I absolutely understand that. But my question is, why is Devin Haney so drained and having such a hard time making the weight that he's supposed to be fighting at? This is his second fight at 140. Why is he having such a hard time making the 140 weight?
Here's where all of the problems begin. Were the circumstances of this fight really unfair, or is this case deeper than what lies on the surface? To find the answer, we must look at none other than Devin Haney himself. You're about to see something here in greater detail than you've ever seen. Let's take a look at Devin Haney's history of fairness and weight through his last 4 opponents. This is the way in between Devin Haney and his last opponent before Ryan Garcia, Regis Prograis. Did you hear that? What did he say? No, you missed it. Play it again. He said, "You're too small." This is the way in between Devin Haney and Vasily Lomachenko. Can you read lips? He said it again. "You're too small. You're too small."
Devin Haney saying you're too small if you're reading lips. I don't think
this is the way in between Devin Haney and George Kambosos. Are you reading? He said it again. "You're too small. You're too small." So we see a pattern here. And
what y'all think about that? You're too small. You're too small. And this is for fair use, for entertainment purposes only. I'm not sure what I'm supposed to say to make sure I don't get copyrighted or nothing for this video. Y'all put it in the chat so I could say it so they don't copyright my video. But let's see. Hitler the teacher says that's a question for Ryan Garcia because Devin Haney made the weight. Ryan didn't make the weight, and he's the one who moved up as well. So why don't you ask this question to Ryan? Absolutely, Hitler the teacher. That's a good question. Ryan Garcia hasn't fought at 140 since he got to 140. And I believe the Haneys knew that. So I think they either should have fought the fight at a catch weight, or they should have put things in the contract to make sure that Ryan Garcia would have to pay a hefty fine if he didn't come in on weight, and I think they did that, but I don't think it was enough to deter him from not missing the weight. Barbara D says, I say that Devin made a lot of mistakes regardless of the PEDs and what the weight of both fighters were the night of the fight. I agree. Barbara D say Devin is a weight bully. Facts. B-Dog say, bro, to the teacher. So now people are concerned about weight police play some theory. How old world by 60 pounds. Tank Davis put rehydration clauses. I don't think I understand that one, Hiller the teacher. Now I wonder, let me ask y'all a question. Do that rehydration clause from Gervonta Davis make a little bit more sense now? Do y'all feel like Gervonta Davis was putting him on a rehydration clause because he was trying to get an advantage, or because he was not trying to put himself at a disadvantage? I think that's a good question. That holy boy say, I'm not going to say nothing about Ryan taking PEDs until the investigation is complete and there's a conclusion. Akilo says the fight wasn't for the belt, so they did change it to a catch weight fight. Rehydrating clauses and weight bullying are not the same thing. Boxing has the most casual fan base. Of course, Big Supreme, that's boxing's fan base, the casuals. They don't care about the hardcore fans. Somebody said whoever created this ain't no joke. I'm glad you're liking the documentary. Creole says it's been made sense. Tank's rehydrations clauses always make sense. It makes sense. It says he knew Ryan was using weight tactics. All right, let's continue.
Trust me, this pattern is far more important and bizarre than you may think for two reasons. Reason one, because unquestionably, these are the biggest fights of Devin Haney's career. The fights that launched him into conversations of being the best powerful pound fighter in the world. The conversation of being the best fighter in the world, according to his father, Bill Haney.
Devin is truly the best fighter on the planet. My nickname for Devin is Superman.
This is extremely bizarre because on his fight path to prove himself as a top-level fighter, Devin Haney is telling his opponents with pure confidence that you are too small, indicating that he has a significant size advantage. Reason two why this pattern is so important and bizarre is because of what you're about to see next. Devin Haney fought Regis Prograis in California at the 140-pound weight limit, but on the night of the fight, Haney gained a 9-pound weight advantage over Regis Prograis because after the weigh-in, Haney went from 140 pounds all the way up to 165 pounds overnight. This is a 25-pound increase in less than 24 hours. This was unquestionably illegal under the terms of the Regis Prograis contract, but also it was clearly illegal under the terms of.
So a lot of people are saying that the California State Athletic Commission were talking about implementing the rule for the weight. But if you hear them in the documentary, he also said that it violated the terms in the contract that they had between them. So from my understanding from the documentary, the weight he came in at violated their own contract. Like before we even get to the California State Athletic Commission rules, it violated the terms of their own contract.
The California State Athletic Commission. Don't believe that? Take a look at this. According to this article released by ESPN.com in 2019, CSAC, the California State Athletic Commission, one of the largest combat sports regulatory bodies in the world, voted Tuesday to pass a rule that would cancel a fight if a competitor weighed more than 15% above the contracted weight on the day of the event. The new rule was passed by a vote of 5-0 during a meeting at the Millennium Biltmore Hotel. What that means is that the official weight was 140 pounds. The fighters can only gain up to 15% of 140 pounds after the weigh-in. So what is 15% of 140 pounds? That's 21 pounds. Each fighter could have legally rehydrated up to 161 pounds. Even though that was far more than enough room for legal rehydration, Haney swelled all of the way up from 140 pounds to 165 pounds, which was illegal by 4 full pounds. He crossed the legal line by 4 full pounds, while Prograis was well within the legal rehydration terms because he only rehydrated to 156 pounds. To be clear, Haney illegally swells up an entire 25 pounds, and Prograis legally only increased by 16 pounds. Would you like?
So 161 was the limit. Mr. Boxing Fanatic, what's going on? Thank you for joining the live today. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. Look, if you're listening to the replay of this live, let me know and drop it below your 2 cents as we go through the live. Please help support the channel. You can help support the channel. I'm not monetized yet, so you can hit the like button. Make sure you hit the subscribe button. I got the Cash App going below if y'all want to just drop a little change in there, kind of compensate me for the time, because this does take some time out. You know, I do take my time out to sit down and chit chat with you guys. But what do y'all think about it? 161. He went all the way up to 164, and they're saying he violated it by 4 pounds. Is that big of a deal? If we think the 3 pounds by Ryan is that big of a deal, is the 4 pounds by Devin Haney that big of a deal? So let's get back to it.
Like to know the weirdest thing about this entire scenario? Although there were whispers in the alternative boxing media community about Haney being a weight bully, many media outlets praised Haney and lifted his image while certifying his reputation as one of the top fighters in his division, even though they knew of his incident of coming in illegally overweight versus Prograis.
This is the best Devin Haney. I'm sold, people. And what I saw last night was unbelievable.
He put on a hell of a ring performance against a very rugged, strong, determined.
That was a sensational performance there from Devin Haney. What did you make?
Just an absolute masterclass.
We're going to be dealing with Devin Haney for a long time, and he's going to be a nightmare for everybody around him. In terms of what's next, I don't think anybody with a boxing ring gives two hoots about watching him fight Ryan Garcia. They don't belong in the same ring together right now.
In our view, this is a terrible look for Team Haney and the supporters that ignored the fact that he was illegally overweight versus Prograis and his crucial history of weight bullying tactics. Listen to what Prograis himself has to say about this.
I mean, it was reported. California State Athletic Commission said Devin was 165 pounds. And he's always been the bigger guy in the ring. And Ryan just pulled a curveball and decided that he was going to be the bigger guy in this fight. What do you make of that entire sequence of how that ended up developing?
I mean, it's a go around, come around type of thing, bro. Like, they did it to me, and it happened to them. That's all. You know, you can't complain about it. If you took the fight, that's why I never really said nothing about it. You know, I saw how big he was, and in the ring, I feel like it's a karma thing, right? Because with my fight with Devin, he came in big as shit. In my contract, it was illegal. You can't do that in the contract. Like, that much weight, you cannot put that much weight on in my contract. How big he was, you cannot. It was literally, you're not supposed to do it. And then when we fought at, you're not supposed to come in that big. So that was illegal too. And now Ryan did the same thing that he did to me. Ryan did the same thing to him. So for me, I just think, bro, it just all karma. That's all. But I never complained about it. For me, I say whatever. You know, it is what it is. For me, I take my lick on. I lost the fight. That's what it is. But I know it was illegal.
The information.
Now, there's a lot of people that's saying that Regis Prograis, Supreme L, what's going on? There's a lot of people that's saying that Regis Prograis is coming out and complaining now because he got his ass whooped, and now he's complaining about the fight and the weight and stuff like that. But like he said, Regis Prograis never mentioned anything about the weight. He didn't get compensated. He didn't get no extra money, and that's on him for not, you know, being a good businessman and taking advantage of the situation. But people are asking Regis Prograis about this. Regis Prograis didn't get on live and start saying it's karma and that's what you get. You shouldn't have this and this and that. He didn't do that. People interviewed him and they started asking him about this. So I really don't agree when people are saying that Regis Prograis is bitter and that's why he's saying that now. He don't seem bitter to me. He like, hey, it don't matter what it was. I took the fight. I got my ass whooped. It is what it is. That's what I'm getting from it. But he's saying that it's karma. How do y'all feel about that? Let me know and drop it below. VA Money Group, what's going on?
It only gets worse from here. Come with me. Remember this? Progress, you're too small. Lomachenko, you're too small. Kambosos, you're too small. Joseph Diaz, wait, is he too small too? Let's see. Devin Haney fought Joseph Diaz at 135 pounds. Diaz is 5'6" and Haney is 5'8". Diaz has a 64-inch reach and Haney has a 71-inch reach. This gives Haney major advantages, a 2-inch height advantage and a 7-inch reach advantage. And you can clearly see the major size advantage that Haney has when the two fighters are in the ring here. Kambosos, you're too small. Devin Haney fought Kambosos at 135 pounds. Kambosos is 5'9" and Haney is 5'8". Kambosos has a 68-inch reach and Haney has a 71-inch reach. This gives Haney a 3-inch reach advantage. Oh, and remember the illegal 25-pound weight increase that Haney took when he fought Regis Prograis? Did you think that was the only time that happened? You would be wrong. That was happening in fights well before the Prograis fight. Here's Mauricio Suleiman, president of the WBC, talking to Bill Haney about his son Devin Haney gaining 24 pounds after the weigh-ins. And he's talking about Haney fights that took place well before the Prograis fight.
Several times that you were thinking of moving up to super lightweight.
Exactly.
And your son, after the fight, after the weigh-in, the next day he was 24 pounds over the weight division. So we had reference that he could be.
What was he 24 pounds over?
After the weigh-in, the next day when he fought, he was 24 pounds heavier than the day.
He was hydrated. You said he hydrated up 20 to 24
Absolutely.
Pounds.
So
Okay.
when you
So here we have a 3-inch reach advantage for Haney, and he outweighed Kambosos significantly on the night of the fight. Lomachenko, you're too small. Devin Haney fought Lomachenko at 135 pounds. Loma is 5'7" and Haney is 5'8". Loma has a 65-inch reach and Haney has a 71-inch reach. This gives Haney major size advantages, a 1-inch height advantage and a 6-inch reach advantage.
Devin's too big. Like, I think the size. Don't get me wrong, Lomachenko could fight. Devin is way out of his weight class. Like, he's gonna make 35 and then shoot up to 150, 160, 9 times out of 10. And Lomachenko is gonna be 137, 138.
You can clearly see the major size advantage that Haney has when the two fighters are in the ring here. Prograis, you're too small. Devin Haney fought Regis Prograis at 140 pounds. Prograis is 5'8" and Haney is 5'8". Prograis has a 67-inch reach and Haney has a 71-inch reach.
Did y'all think Devin Haney and Regis was the same height? I felt like Devin was taller than Regis Prograis. Boxing Mr. Boxing Fanatic say Devin been playing with the scale for a while now. H Money, I dropped the link. Did you want to come up here and drop your 2 cents about something real quick? It says the deception video is just pushing negativity for the sake of slander. Or you say you feel like this is a deception video? Put a 1 in the chat if you feel like this documentary is kind of biased. I feel like they need to come out and do a documentary about Ryan Garcia. Like, somebody put out a documentary on Ryan Garcia. Says Devin definitely taller than Regis. I thought so. I don't think Regis Prograis is no doggone 5'8". Says Devin was taller and heavier than Regis. That's what I'm saying. I dropped the link if anybody want to come up here and go over the video with me, give y'all 2 cents as we go throughout the video. The link is in the chat. I'll drop it again. There we go. We got H in the building. What's up, H? You on mute, H? H, you on mute? Mr. Boxing Fanatics say, man, ain't shit biased about exposing motherfuckers playing weight games. All right, let's keep it going.
Prograis weighed 156 pounds the night of the fight, and Haney weighed 165 pounds because of the
H, turn your
illegal
camera on real quick so I can
25-pound
verify it's
weight
you.
increase. This gives Haney major size advantages. He has a 4-inch reach advantage and an illegal 9-pound weight advantage. And you can clearly see the major size advantage that Haney has when the two fighters are in the ring here. Now, isn't this ironic? Devin Haney supporters accuse Ryan Garcia of cheating and having an unfair weight advantage because he missed weight by 3 pounds against Devin Haney. And Devin Haney actually did cheat in his last fight before Ryan Garcia versus Prograis because he swelled up 25 pounds and was illegally overweight by 4 full pounds while having a weight advantage over his opponent of 9 pounds. Yet Devin Haney says he always wants everything to be fair.
I want to be on an even playing field. It's only fair that, you know, when we step in that ring, we're equal.
Things get even worse from here, but let's summarize this. Prograis, too small. Lomachenko, too small. Tambosas, too small. Diaz, way too small. Linares, because of Haney's excessive weight gain after weigh-ins, too small and too old. Gamboa, way too small. Devin Haney, who is being sold to boxing fans as the best fighter on the planet and a top 5 pound-for-pound fighter, and the next Floyd Mayweather, has had a career fight trajectory path of his last 6 opponents to build his credibility as a top-level fighter. And he has had major size weight advantages over every single opponent. He also actually lost in the eyes of many observers to one of the smallest opponents of them all, which was of the silly Lomachenko. So the best fighter in the world has proved himself beating the most important opponents of his career by having multiple advantages over them while illegally breaking the rules of weight and rehydration in some of those fights.
BA Money Group, what's going on? You got some 2 cents you want to drop? You on mute?
Oh, hold on 1 second. Let me get my let me get my earpiece in.
Okay, it's cool. I'm gonna run some more video.
Fights in the process. But then, when Devin Haney finally fights a fighter his age, and most importantly, a fighter his size in Ryan Garcia, this happens.
I be smoking on that Haney pack. Yeah, I'm smoking on that Haney pack. Garcia, yeah, I'm smoking on that Haney pack. He talking trash, so I had to put him on his back. Haney tryna be Mayweather. Boy, I hit you with this hook. You ain't Mayweather. Tell me what is that? That's a broke jaw. Haney broke jaw. The face jigsaw. Yeah, I'm going off. Knocked your Haney pack. Yeah, I'm that Haney pack. That Haney pack. Smoking on that Haney pack. Put him on his back.
This is not good because you.
Y'all, Ryan is hilarious for that song. I'm not even gonna lie to y'all. He was wrong for that. He was wrong. Ryan Garcia is a fool. Ryan Garcia is a fool. That boy got a song called Haney Pack. What's even funnier is that they added it to this documentary. But here we go. Let's go.
You cannot say this about any other top fighter at 135 to 140 pounds. You cannot say that any of them has had this type of consecutive streak of major size advantages. If you look at their last 7 fights, which were the most important fights of their careers also, you can't say this about Ryan Garcia. You can't say this about Gervonta Davis. You can't even say this about Shakur Stevenson. You can't say this about Teofimo Lopez, and as a bonus, you can't say this about Vasily Lomachenko, and you certainly cannot say this about Floyd Mayweather. When he was rising from 135 to 147, Mayweather was almost always fighting fighters his size or larger.
Shout out to Barbara D for the $5 holla in the Cash App. She says for channel support. Thank you, Barbara D. I appreciate that.
You think one fighter gained a half dozen pounds since weighing in, and the other one gained 16 pounds. Advantage to the much bigger Corrales. Whatsoever of trying to come back and win a decision. That's it for the jab all night. And the second knockdown of the round for Mayweather. Pretty boy, Floyd Mayweather.
This gets even worse from here. Things get even more bizarre because of one word: accusations. After Ryan Garcia demolished Devin Haney, there was a shockwave that exploded through the sport of boxing because of this surprising upset. Then, out of nowhere, shocking revelations were revealed. Reports came out that Ryan Garcia had tested positive for 2 performance enhancement drugs, including the substance ostarine and also 19-norandrosterone. Accusations swirled like wildfire, choosing Ryan Garcia as a steroid abuser and a cheater. And a day after the news broke, guess who quickly popped up on ESPN to double down on the accusations? That's right, Devin Haney. What I'm about to say is very important. Devin Haney went on ESPN to launch a full assault on Ryan Garcia's character before Ryan Garcia even had a fair trial regarding the initial test results. He completely ignored the fact that there is a process after positive test results are released, because the B sample has to be tested, evidence needs to be gathered, circumstances need to be studied and evaluated. The investigation has to play out because errors could have been made by the testing agency. Ryan Garcia's supplements could have been contaminated, along with many other alternative possibilities. But instead of being fair and allowing Ryan Garcia the time for fair investigation, Devin Haney goes on a full character assault. The irony. And then
Now, I want to get y'all 2 cents about that. So, in VA Money Group, you can chime in on this. Somebody made a good point. They were saying, innocent until proven guilty, right? But they felt as though once you get popped for something in your system, you're guilty until proven innocent. Now, I tend to kind of agree with that because once something is found in your system, now you have to prove how it got there, right? Now you have to prove your innocence because you are already guilty. It's already in your system. So I kind of agree with that point. Like, you know what? That's a good point. That makes sense. Once something is in my system, now I have to, kind of prove how it got there. Now we got to, like he said, do the be simple. Now we got to check my supplements to see if they're contaminated. VA Money Group, you got something you want to say about that? I see you unmuted.
Yeah. Hey, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah. So I was just trying to say that I'm still astonished at the opinions of supposed boxing fans on this matter. Like, I have no idea what I'm reading through these comments, and they're like, "Yeah, this is facts." This guy pops for steroids, and they're like, and this guy says you have to study the circumstances and have a fair trial. What are you talking about? You know what I mean?
Yeah. But let me ask you a question. If the roles were reversed, right, and let's say this was Devin Haney, would you not have the same sentiment? Like, listen, I know Devin Haney's not a cheater. Let's go through the process. Let's see how this could have possibly happened. Or you would just be like, off the rip, he's a cheater.
No. If you pop for steroids, then you pop for steroids. Like, there's nothing that we have to talk about. There's nothing that we can talk about. You know what I mean? If you pop for steroids, and that's it. That's what it is. There's no defense that I could have of Devin Haney if VADA releases, a report saying that, hey, this guy has adverse findings in his blood test, nandrolone and ostarine. And ostarine, I mean, it, yeah, like, so what were you trying to get at with that question? You trying to say that would I defend Devin Haney if the roles were reversed the same way these fans are defending Ryan Garcia?
I'm not saying it like that. I'm just saying like if the roles were, because this is reason why I asked that question is if it was a thing of if you pop dirty, you pop dirty, then why is boxing giving you this due process? You get what I'm saying? Why are they saying let's do the be simple? Let's see if your supplements were contaminated. Why is that the process is if you pop dirty, you pop dirty? So I'm just asking if the shoe was on the other foot, would you just be like, nah, he cheated, zero tolerance?
I mean, somewhat, yeah. I feel like there's an elephant in this room, right? And there's a complexity to that elephant, right? So the elephant in the room for me is the racial aspect, the ethnic aspect, right? So I was watching Coach Malachi, I think yesterday. He was talking about people think that this is about race, and he's trying to say that it's not about race. That he was at the fight, and there was a lot of black people cheering when Devin Haney got dropped. Well, if you're into like socio-economic and political, you know, things within this country, you know that that doesn't mean anything. Like there's blacks in this country that root against other blacks, right? That's a thing, right? You know what I'm saying? So there that doesn't disprove the fact that a bunch of people who claim to be boxing fans are, of course they're gonna root against a black fighter. That's their right. But when something like this happens, they're gonna, you know, ignore the fact that this is cheating, so that they can still say Devin Haney lost. You get what I'm saying?
I get what you're saying. I get
So
what you're
so
saying.
ethics, morals, and ethics are like fly out of the window because in their emotion, they want it to be true. Like they want Ryan Garcia knocking out Devin Haney to be true. You know what I mean? So they don't care about the circumstances. Like I don't know if that makes any sense, but that's
Well, my thing. Let me know if this. My thing when people try to make things about race, and it's almost like let's excuse everything or let's just side with this person because they're black. And I don't necessarily believe in that because I mean I got my own opinions and I think how I want to think. I'm not just going to all of a sudden because you're black. And I think a lot of what people are misconstruing is just because I have questions or I'm speculating doesn't necessarily mean I'm defending Ryan Garcia, right? Just because I'm not saying
yeah, yeah.
well, off the rip he's a cheater, then I'm defending. No, I'm not saying that. Just like I said, anytime this happens, I question everything, no matter who it is, whether it's Canelo, whether it's anybody. I don't care if you were black or not, because that's just like saying if Devin Haney was the one to pop, we should be like, oh, it don't matter because he black. If the shoe was on the other foot and people were like, "Oh, Devin Haney cheated. He cheated. It don't matter. He popped dirty and he wasn't being given his due process," people would have the same argument. Well, why y'all not giving him his due process? Why y'all not letting him have the time? Oh, because he black, right? And then you would be on the other side of that, and you would be like, I mean, I'm not saying, you know what I'm saying? I know I'm black, but he cheated. It don't matter. He don't need no due process. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So sometimes you just kind of flip the script and kind of analyze what it is that you're saying to kind of make sure it's kind of fair on both sides. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
But I get it. But I get the whole black thing. But sometimes people just kind of throw that out there to manipulate the way you think or try to manipulate how you're thinking and what you're saying to make you feel some type of guilt or shame because you're black also. When to me, race doesn't have anything to do with it, in my opinion. In my opinion, to give my 2 cents about it. I don't think this is a race thing at all.
You don't think it's a race thing at all?
Not to me, not in my opinion. I don't really think this is a race thing. No.
Let me ask you a question. I think I listened to you before, and I think I heard you answer this question before. But just to clarify, how long have you been a day-to-day boxing fan?
I've been really in. No, I do understand that boxing is a racial sport. Trust me, I do understand that. But I'm just saying this situation, I don't necessarily think that it's about race.
And so, what, by this situation, you mean like the fans that side with Ryan Garcia and seem to like not necessarily give like not pay.
Like this isn't Canelo. I mean, this isn't Mayweather and Pacquiao. That was very racially driven, right?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
would you say this is? You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, it was. See, here's the thing though, that was direct though. So I used to work with Filipinos. We used to fantasize together about that fight, right? And online, you would get called the M bomb, you get called chicken and runner and all the other stuff. But the Filipino fans, they wanted the fight, right? Uh, the problem now is that all these fans online want to do is to say negative stuff. They don't even really want the fight. They're not saying, "Oh, this guy's gonna knock this guy out." They're just trolling, pretty much.
Yeah,
Like
it's
it
a
has
lot of
nothing
trolling.
to, you know what I'm saying? Like as far as like the racial thing, I mean that's what boxing is. Like if you're Mexican, root for the Mexican guy. If you're black, root for the black fighter. All this is how I know somebody hasn't been a boxing fan for very long. 100%. This is 100% the truth. If you see a black fan, a black quote unquote hardcore boxing fan who says that they don't see race or anything like that, that's not a real boxing fan, bro. Listen, I've been a real boxing fan, hardcore boxing fan on this internet thing for over 15 years. That guy that talks about, oh, I don't see color and stuff like that in boxing, all that stuff, that's not a real thing. That's something very recent. And it's
No,
not.
I understand. Like, not to cut you off, but I understand what you're saying. And of course, boxing is a racial thing. It started out like that, right? But the reason why I think this is a tad bit different, just a tad bit different,
Yeah.
is because of the demographic and how young the fan bases are that Ryan Garcia fans have and things like that, right? Of course, it's racial. You get a black guy in the ring, get a Mexican guy in the ring, you're going to make more money, right? They always say you put two black fighters in the ring, they're not going to sell. Of course, it's a racial thing. And I've been a hardcore boxing fan since probably about 2010, 2011, maybe. So I'm not no historian and no. I just recently really got into it. But real quick, Mr. Mosh, you want to give your 2 cents? We're gonna get back to the video.
Oh yeah, man. First and foremost, how you doing? 2 cents, long
I'm
time.
doing
Always
good,
hear you
long
break it
time.
down. VA Money Group. What's up, man? I think both can be true at the same time. I think it is a racial component a little bit. I understand it, but then 2 cents countered with a great point. I think because of the demographic and the age of Ryan and Devin and the YouTube media that Ryan has, Ryan has a lot of different cultures following him on his YouTube and his social media platforms. So it's not strictly the Mexicans are going for him and then the blacks are going for Devin. I can argue that I've been on panels with boxing people who know the sport of boxing, and they all don't like Devin Haney, and they're black. So I mean, I don't know. But look, before you get back to the video, 2 cents, just let me say this real quick. Cheating's cheating. Ryan got busted cheating. Like, it's combat sports. I'm at the point now where who cares? Because I'm a big advocate of skills pays the bills. And whatever happened with Ryan in his training camp or prior, or whatever happened with Devin to this fight, one thing that people aren't talking about, some are, but not most, is that if Ryan wasn't on steroids and he didn't get caught using the PEDs, he's still the bigger fighter. He still has the left hook, and Devin Haney's defense wasn't on point. And technical wise, Devin Haney just wasn't what people thought he was. And so PEDs or not, I mean, are you guys saying that even if Ryan did not get caught using PEDs, the left hook when it landed? I mean, when a guy lands a left hook that many times in a fight,
That's exactly what I'm saying.
fuck PEDs. And I mean, if it's okay, fuck PEDs at that point. Like, I'm questioning your boxing acumen. I'm questioning your training camp. I'm questioning guys in your corner. I'm questioning the adjustments in the corner. And so all this PED nonsense, and just real quick, 2 cents. I call it nonsense because it's combat sports. And I'm sure that there's a lot of guys who mask it, who don't get caught, who are on it. And so I'm not going to harp on it. I'm going to harp on the skill set of both fighters and say, how do I break down the two fighters? And I gotta be honest here. PEDs or no PEDs, the fact that Devin Haney cannot gauge distance and cannot get out the way of a left hook that many times, that's the problem. Ryan using PEDs to me is not the problem. It's Devin Haney in his corner. And like Floyd Mayweather said to Devin or to Bill, like, do y'all need help? Like, do you need my help? And so there's a corner issue with Devin Haney, right? It's his father. And real quick, Antonio Tarver said the best. You got guys teaching and growing boxers who don't know shit about boxing, who's never boxed around in their life. And so when you get in these moments, right, where you do get hit with a left hook in the first round, there was no adjustment. Like Bill Haney gave Devin Haney no adjustments. And so we should be talking about the technical aspect of the fight compared to this PED nonsense. But of course, it's America and it's fucking good news and it's good for banter. So this is the top of the ticket. But really, I want to talk technical boxing between these two guys and what Devin couldn't do. Like, that's what I want to talk about, but it's cool.
And I can attest to that you have been consistent on, because we talked about this for months. You've been consistent on your thoughts about PEDs. Paid in full, what's going on? I'm gonna let you get your 2 cents in, but let's go through some of the video.
This interview, Haney talks about wanting to be on an even playing field, wanting to be equal and fair with his opponents. He goes on to talk about Ryan Garcia's character and cheating. He also went on to say Garcia would do anything to win, including cheat. Remember these words. All of this is about to get even deeper because of 2 words: the split. The earth-shattering news that Ryan Garcia tested positive for banned substances created a split that divided the boxing world and fans into 2 sides, the Garcia side and the Haney side. After this section, you will get to decide which side you're on. Those that sided with Devin Haney immediately voiced their opinions that Ryan Garcia likely cheated, and those that sided with Garcia seemed to be suspicious of foul play or just expressed enough confidence in Ryan Garcia's character that he wouldn't cheat. Those that sided with Ryan Garcia includes one of the most popular active boxing stars, the undefeated Gervonta Tank Davis. Coach Ellis, one of Gervonta Davis's coaches, Mexican boxing superstar Canelo Alvarez, Hall of Fame boxer Shane Mosley, former coach of Rolly Romero, Coach Bullet, and Ellie Sekpak, veteran boxing reporter from ES News. Those that sided with Haney includes the likes of former boxer.
Real quick, let me say that Shane Mosley and Canelo, I don't know about them too because they both got caught cheating. But
Timothy Bradley, former HBO commentator Jim Lampley, former boxer Zab Judah, who was a close friend of Bill Haney and godfather of Devin Haney, George Kambosos, who was an active boxer and former opponent of Devin Haney, Peter Garcia, current boxing trainer, and one more very important individual to this entire bizarre case. Now let's take a listen to what Haney's reporters had to say about this case.
First temple he popped for, I don't, what is it? What was this? Ostarine or whatever, performance enhancement drug, whatever. Look, man, Vada is a trusted company. Just put it that way, a trusted company. I believe in Vada. Whatever was in the A sample should be in the B sample. Okay, it should be in it. All right.
I think it's very unfortunate that he tested positive for a banned substance. He says, "Oh, lies." My basic belief, strong belief, position is Vada doesn't lie. Those are scientists.
And she, come on, baby. That's how you want to start it? She. Oh. Devin Haney is still pound for pound, number 1.
If this is the truth and he has tested positive, especially for this thing, as well as putting in the 3 pounds heavier that he came in, using every bit of advantage plus a cheating advantage, it's a bad move, it's a bad look, it's a dog act. When you start to play games where you've come in heavy, all right, obviously Devin's usually got the advantage being the bigger guy, but Ryan try to twist it on them and do the same.
He tested positive. That's period. End of story. He tested positive.
And who is this mystery figure that sided with Devin Haney? This is Victor Conte. Victor Conte is the man behind the biggest scandal in the nutrition supplements business. The scandal landed Conte in court along with multiple superstar athletes for cheating on a mass scale. He was convicted for selling undetectable performance enhancement drugs to world athletes in 2005. In 1984, San Francisco, California, Conte founded Balco, the Bay Area Laboratory Cooperative. The company collected information on world-class athletes and developed nutrition programs for them. But Conte has always been walking a thin line between innocent nutritional supplements and illegal performance-enhancing drugs. He's been noted for saying, "Powerful athletes are going to want some of my supplements, and I can get them into their bodies faster than the FDA can say they are safe and faster than the anti-doping agency can say whether or not they are legal or illegal." He has admitted to sitting with athletes and watching them inject his undetectable substances. Conte has also admitted to hiring employees from the testing facilities. These employees would work with Conte behind the scenes and feed him information so that his athletes would remain undetectable. Let's see what Victor had to say about cheating even after he was convicted.
It's not cheating if everybody's doing it. And if you've got the knowledge that that's what everybody's doing, and those are the real rules of the game, then you're not cheating.
And now, years and years after the scandal, Conte has developed a new company called SNAC. SNAC uses clinical science to develop new ways.
So, paid in full. What's your 2 cents about this?
Man, my whole thing is this. If he, I just believe, that's why I said I was going to stay neutral throughout the situation until, you know what I'm saying, everybody came back with the findings and the commission actually laid down the rule. Everybody keeps saying that he's cheating, but the damn commission hasn't labeled it as that yet. Said they ain't even made no, you know what I'm saying, no ruling in the situation. And I think a lot of people didn't give Ryan a due process due to all the antics and shit. But that don't mean you guilty, bro. If a motherfucker, my bad, I don't mean to cuss, but if somebody laced you or some shit, how is that your fault? Or, I mean, obviously he has the money to get his supplements tested, but I ain't saying that a person can't just go to the GNC and pick out something and then the shit is just contaminated. How is that your fault though?
Mm-hmm.
So,
but I mean, a lot of people are like, well, if you put it in your body, this is the thing. A lot of people like, if you put it in your body, then you should be responsible. And I agree. If you get popped for something, you should be punished because you should be more responsible. But my only thing is, if I always ask, if the situations were reversed, would your sentiment be the same? That's my biggest thing.
Exactly.
Because you know, if the situations were reversed, my sentiment would be the same.
Exactly.
My sentiment. So I believe Ryan should be punished. Absolutely. I think the only thing that Ryan is trying to prove right now is that he didn't do it intentionally.
Exactly.
And I think that's okay. And I think it should be okay for people to be like, well, maybe he didn't do it intentionally without getting berated and feeling like,
right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right. But everybody, but a lot of motherfuckers is just using the situation as again, we go back to the antics. They use it as a guilty verdict, bro. And that ain't, I mean, that's not how it worked, bro. I agree.
Well,
you got
let me ask the
feelings.
chat and the panel a question. For somebody who despises cheating and want everything to be on the even playing field, what are y'all 2 cents about Devin and Bill Haney being connected to Victor Conte?
I've been said that's I had an issue, and 2 cents, I ain't gonna lie, like through this whole situation, bro, it's been like a lot of stuff has been fishy, bro, with this whole scenario with the popping dirty, then Devin little brother, like before he even popped, actually coming out saying that he was gonna pop dirty. Like, how would you know that? Like, it's like a lot of fishy issues that I got with this situation. That's why I just said I'm just gonna stay neutral until if he gets suspended, he gets suspended. I don't got no fighter in the race, to be honest. I just don't. I just don't think nobody. I think everybody deserve due process at least.
I mean, outside of baseball, man, I mean, boxing is the most corrupt sport in our country.
I
And so
agree.
I don't care if Devin Haney popped clean or not. I don't care what boxer popped clean. It doesn't mean that he's not dirty. I mean, there's
Exactly.
ways around this shit, right? Bill and Devin, have some clout, have some cachet. And
Big
so you
Tony,
can't
what
tell me
up, Big Tony? Go ahead.
that guys can't, you know, guys guys can't make things go away. And so Victor Conte says if anybody's cheating, then it is an even playing field. And so that's why I harp so much on the skill standpoint. And real quick on Ryan Garcia, I don't care if it was accident or not. At this level of and you're that type of athlete on this level, your business got to be in order, which means if somebody brings you a fucking bottle of Kool-Aid, like if it ain't your mama, you ain't drinking it, right? So I
For
mean, you
real.
got to be on point with what's going in your body, right? I mean, there's a reason why Floyd Mayweather was so strict on. If you watch his movements inside his stuff, you guys, he's picky about who gives him certain things. And these fires of today, paid in full, they're too lackadaisical, they're too naive, and I see different. Listen, I know it's an issue when I see a few different people in a boxer's camp give him something. It shouldn't be that way, right?
No,
On
for
this
sure.
level, it should not be that way. And so
No,
let
for
me
sure.
close with this. Let me land it here. I think there's a lot of boxers, a lot of our favorite boxers, who's never popped dirty, but I think they're dirty. And
Yeah.
so, I mean, that's why, like the PED stuff, man. I mean, again, and I want 2 cents and paid in full to touch on this. Like, we gotta start analyzing the technical aspect because even if PEDs gives you, recovery time and makes you a little bit faster or whatever, okay, cool. I mean, it is an advantage. I'm not gonna say it's not, but I just feel like your skill set is your skill set. And if Devin Haney was on point with his skill set, then he should have, jab, gauge the distance. He should have ran a little bit, moved around the ring, and he could have won that fight. So there's ways around things, but yeah, I'm not going to put too much credence inside this stuff. And again, Victor said, "quote, if everybody's doing it, then it's an even playing field."
And then even just that alone, a person telling you they can circumvent a test
Right.
is suspicious as hell, bro. And
Mhm.
for a person even saying some shit like that shouldn't even be involved in the sport at all, bro. Whether he doing shit or not, you already got a bad reputation. And then on top of that, and I don't feel like a cheater just completely stop cheating, bro. They find a
Sure.
different way to cheat. I don't
Right.
believe that should just go away, bro.
I agree with you. And these guys have lots of money. They have lots of resources that we don't have at our disposal. And so you can't tell me that these guys aren't paying guys off or,
Yeah, bro.
they don't have people who can, manipulate tests. I mean, look, bro, boxing is so corrupt. Boxing is so corrupt. I don't put anything past nobody. And
I agree.
so, I mean,
Hey,
listen,
let me get
go ahead, bro. My bad.
Hold on, VA. Let me address this right here. That whole boy. He says, keep in mind Ryan hired a strength and conditioning coach 12 to 24 hours before the weigh-in. I watched that interview with the guy on Mill City Boxing, and he felt like he needed to come out and say something because a lot of people were, accusing him and saying that he helped Ryan cheat. From my understanding, that guy specializes in helping fighters cut a bunch of weight in a short period of time. I don't necessarily think he's a strength and conditioning coach. I didn't hear him label himself as that, but he said that they called him, said Ryan needs to lose some weight. And so they brought him in to help Ryan cut a lot of the weight before the fight. So the fact just to give my 2 cents, Ryan saying that he missed weight on purpose, I don't necessarily think that's the truth. Yes, he said it, but the fact that he hired somebody to come in to help him cut the weight kind of leads me to believe otherwise. Y'all drop your 2 cents below and let me know what you think about that. Go ahead, VA Money Group.
So, so your original question was, how do we feel about Devin Haney's relationship with Victor Conte
Right.
and the whole situation? I feel like Victor Conte. I agree with the gentleman up here that said that they think Victor Conte is still cheating and using his relationship to Vada to get over. I believe that that's a 100% what's going on. You know what I
Right.
mean? I don't have too much evidence, but I mean, Snack is a very potent program. Like guys like Chance Crawford moving up in weight and going on 11, 12, 13 fight knockout streaks and stuff like that. Like it's very potent what he's doing over there. But Ryan Garcia actually got popped.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
For the guy that said that he doesn't care about the steroids and the role that steroids played in his fight, he wants to focus on skills. Well, I want to tell this guy, like, just say you don't know what steroids are and what they can do, because that's a very ignorant statement. Steroids determine what you're going to be able to do in the ring. Period. If you don't know the effect of steroids, watch Sean Porter against Malignaggi and Sean Porter versus Devon Alexander. Watch those two fights. Watch how explosive he was. Watch,
Oh, Sean Porter?
yeah, and then watch the fights after PBC started drug testing. Just compare the two.
I'm gonna do that. Let me write that down. I'm gonna go. You said Paulie Malignaggi and who else?
And Devon Alexander. I think there was two knockouts. He beat the hell out. Those are my first two times seeing Sean Porter. I think I saw him against Diaz, and I think he had a draw against Diaz, but he knocked out Paulie Malignaggi, who is somebody who could take punishment. Was
he with Snack?
Nah, he wasn't with Snack. It's just they weren't drug testing. That's what, you know.
D1 boxing edits. What's going on? Okay.
That was my point. My point is just the steroids are highly potent compounds. When they get into your system, they can make you do things that you'll never be able to do without them. Period. That's the end of it. You know what I'm saying?
What up, Mr. Greg? What's up, 2 Cents Boxing? Okay, we watching this. We're going over this documentary and just giving our 2 cents about somebody made a documentary about Devin Haney, and I'm reacting to it live. So that's what we're doing right now. Let's get back to the video. Thank y'all for coming up here and giving y'all 2 cents with me. I really appreciate it.
Oh, for sure.
To optimize human performance in athletes. The company seems to be similar to Conte's old company, Balco, in the way it provides cutting-edge supplements to athletes. Now Victor Conte and Snack has a whole new stable of boxers that it supports. One of the main boxers that Conte and Snack supports these days is none other than Devin Haney. Devin Haney, the same fighter that has been confirmed to illegally gain a major weight advantage by swelling up 25 pounds after the weigh-ins. Devin Haney, the fighter that's had a suspicious history of excessive weight gain in his past 7 fights since he joined the Snack program around 2020. Let's see what Victor Conte has to say about Ryan Garcia and the PEB test results.
He has somehow suggested that you are, in a way, behind his failing of these drug tests. I would love to get your response.
More than a decade ago, when VADA first started, I was one of the first trainers that was referring my fighters world champions. The first one was Nonito Donaire. I have been sending my fighters, obviously because of my background, okay, and things that happened back in 2003, so I refer my fighters to VADA. Did I introduce Margaret Goodman and Flip Amansky that run VADA to people like Dick Pound, who was the founding chairman of WADA, the World Anti-Doping Agency, and others that helped them be able to do the testing at WADA accredited labs? Yes, I made some introductions.
So you are not behind Ryan Garcia's positive.
I am not behind Ryan Garcia's positive drug tests. Let's, for just a moment, talk about Devin Haney, my guy. Devin Haney, my guy. Devin Haney, my guy. And how horrible this is for him. And until we get a reasonable explanation from Ryan, the burden of proof is on him to prove there was no intent to cheat. Because otherwise, I don't care if somebody snuck into your room and spiked your toothpaste. I don't care if somebody snuck into your room and spiked your toothpaste. You're going to be responsible. The burden is on him.
As you can see, Conte is very serious about his support of Devin Haney. And I can tell you, this connection could be more deeply woven than you think. Take a listen to what Garcia's reporters had to say about this case.
Let it be clear that Victor Conte is the steroid master, that's over all of this stuff. Boxing, he's over the boxing stuff. So it is kind of odd to me that Ryan's getting popped at the last minute when they did all these different tests leading up to the fight. And then when he wins against Devin Haney, now all of a sudden he's doing steroids. So that's my take on it, is that, I mean, I couldn't trust what Victor Conte is saying because he's actually the guy that administers steroids to everybody. And he's actually the guy that, does steroids and testing. It's kind of weird to me that there's a conflict of interest. It's weird. And knowing that Devin Haney is his guy, that he sponsors or whatever. So now he wants Devin Haney to look good and beat the victor because he was supposed to win, being on snack or whatever it is, that whatever type of clear cream steroid he is given to Devin Haney. I don't know.
And I know that Devin worked with a snake victim, so I feel as though it's just people going at him. I don't think that's him. I don't really think that he did use it. So why ain't come out that Tuesday or that week? They waited till Canelo fight to push that he had something in his drug. Then once they pushed that, Devin and them was on ESPN that night promoting that he was. It's all in. I'm telling you.
Some of the news that happened with Ryan, do you believe some of the stuff that's happened? Or
Not at all. Not at all. You just gotta let the truth rise to the top.
Canelo, what would you say to Ryan Garcia for the things he's going through right now?
You need to calm down and please let him speak, because I know Ryan and I don't think he do it bad things.
Devin Haney was on ESPN last night, his first public appearance since his fight with Ryan Garcia. A lot of controversies going on. It came out this week that Ryan Garcia tested positive for 2 substances that athletes are not supposed to take. I'm telling you guys, I don't think Ryan took anything on purpose. I don't think he's a cheater. That's from me knowing him personally. We'll have to wait till the dust settles. Even Canelo Alvarez said yesterday, don't jump to conclusions. Wait to see how things unfold.
All right, so I gotta pause it. I don't want to let it run too long. I hope they don't copyright my video, y'all. This is a good one. But I think just being connected to Victor is not a good look, right? And anytime anything cheating comes up, he's gonna be questionable. Like, you have to expect that. But my thing is, I've heard Victor do interviews and talk about other people doping and testing, and it's almost like he's kind of contradicting himself and changing his tune. Just like his fighter, I believe, Andre Berto was with Victor Conte. He popped for something. He was like, oh, it was contamination. He took a gas station pill. I heard him say, oh, well, Canelo did a hair follicle test, so he's vindicated. I don't believe he cheated. So a lot of the things that Victor is saying now contradicts what he said before. How do y'all feel about that? And listen, at first, when Victor first started talking, I was like, why is Victor even saying that? He just needs to shut up. But then I remember I seen a video with Bill Haney and Devin, and they were saying that one of the reasons why they got with Victor is so that they would be able to tell, quote unquote, if somebody was cheating against them. So they kind of changed my mind a little bit. Maybe he's just doing what he was hired to do. Somebody cheat against Devin, he's gonna come out and say,
yeah, I don't believe that. I think Devin Haney is cheating too, and also too, because I got to go 2 cents just real quick. No, I'm not buying that nonsense. I think Devin Haney cheat. He just ain't got caught yet. And I'm gonna make this last point, and I want Paid in Full just to touch on this if he doesn't mind. The human body is not built or made to take boxing punishment. It's not made to rehydrate, lose weight, gain weight, jump back up in weight. You know what I'm saying? A 8-week boxing training camp, grueling. These boxers put their bodies through hell and back. And so let's be honest here. You got to take something to recover, right? I mean, nobody is that elite, that good, just all natural. I'm not buying it because the body's not made to do that. Are there probably some exceptions? Maybe.
Hey, but what's your point, though? What's your point? What's your point?
Well, no. My point is that I think they're all cheating. That's my point. I think the way that boxers put their bodies through, losing weight, dropping weight, gaining weight, training camps, the punishment. I mean, there's no way in hell that you can tell me that person's natural body can withstand that and then still operate efficient enough during a fight to beat me. I just don't buy it, bro. I think everybody's using. That's all. That's my point.
Yeah, I think I agree with that in an aspect as well, because I had to ask myself, like, if the fight is on, if you got to weigh in at 140 on Friday, and you have damn near 36 hours, and people want to say that's water weight. We do know it's dangerous as hell to rehydrate really, really quickly.
Of course.
So a fighter gaining 20 to 30 pounds in the fucking night, like, how is that possible?
Correct.
Without using an IV. So
correct. Yeah.
It's possible. It's possible.
But that's a lot of weight doing. You got to do it the right way, or not. If not, you'll hurt your body, bro.
Right.
Like, it's a way you can. I don't know, bro. I can't speak on that. I just don't.
What you think about this? JC say, laugh out loud. Everybody using now because Ryan popped dirty. Y'all gotta stop, man.
This ain't got nothing to do with that, bro. We ain't even talk about that situation. We talking about weight gaining and losing weight. Like, I just don't like. I think I want to know why is Victor Conte so loud now than he was ever before with this situation.
Well, Victor Conte always, Q Brown, what's going on? Victor Conte always poking his head into other people. He's always saying something about fighters that don't have nothing to do with him. And let me tell you, I put a video up about Victor Conte. I put a short up about the Ryan Garcia, the Terrence Crawford and Errol Spence fight, right? Because y'all know about what was going on with that. People was talking about Terrence Crawford because he was connected to Victor. And he came out and said both fighters were clean, that this and this is unfounded, and basically people need to stop saying that. So I put up a short and I asked, how does Victor know that both fighters were clean? How does he know the testing results?
Yeah,
exactly.
And so he came in my comments and he said that he gets the testing results for his fighters because his fighters send him the test results once they get them. And I said, okay, cool. But how do you know Spence's test results? Spence ain't your fighter.
Right.
So he contradicts himself a lot. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like,
I agree.
Yeah. So I don't know why he's able to get people's test results. I don't know why he's able to know who testing for fights and who's not testing for fights. It's just a lot of questions that I be having.
And shout out to manager Marty as well, bro. Rachel has stuck her, like, pretty much vouched for him and found out that he is really connected to Vada, actually one of the founders of it. So for him saying that he's not connected, that's a lie, bro.
I don't think he ever said he wasn't connected.
No, he said
he did say that.
He's trying to say he's not connected to it now. He just pretty much founded it and put it together.
All right, so the way I feel, like, I don't have evidence for this, but the way I feel is that Victor Conte is connected, obviously, to Vada, and that's how he's able to, do his supplement program with fighters, and nobody ever. Well, I think some people have popped before on snack program, but I feel like he's able to have access that he's not supposed to have to Vada. You know what I mean? As an organization, that's the way I feel.
I agree.
All right, let's get back to the video. We got about 10 more minutes left.
I know that Victor Conte has been brought into this
for years,
and so
Victor is a genius when it comes to this shit. He's had track star, he has football players back in the day. Dev is on the snack program, and the same thing Vada that he has. He knows these substances. Now, if they're going to use that as a weapon against Ryan got to be careful because he knows the facts. He got the blood. He got everything.
So you think it's possible that he could have been set up in this?
If you're dealing with the same individual, yes, definitely. Two of the same situation from one main common denominator, yes, it could have been set up.
Very interesting considering the excessive weight gain of Devin Haney. And here comes the
hold on.
most
Can I
bizarre
say something?
piece
I
of
wanted to make a
evidence
point.
of this entire case.
I wanted to make a not necessarily a point, but there's a video of Caleb Plant speaking on the situation when it first happened, and he said that when Vada, he says that there's a lot of fighters that are on stuff that don't get popped because he said he thinks
Real
that's the
quick,
case.
real quick, JC. Nobody is saying that Conte set up Ryan for Dev. Nobody's saying that at all. That's
Well, no,
not
no.
the direction
Well,
this is going.
well, that's actually kind of what I'm trying to say.
Oh, well, my bad. Go ahead, VA. Let me let you finish then.
Caleb Plant said a lot of times guys will be on stuff, but they don't get popped because they're trying to keep the money rolling. But he says when they do get popped, they always did it. So when Ryan Garcia got popped for posturing the day before the fight, or a week before the fight, or something like that, that's almost, if you know about steroids and performance-enhancing drugs, that's almost evidence that VADA is a corrupt organization, because you would have popped him as soon as he started using it. Nobody uses Osterine one time. It doesn't happen like that. Steroids, Nandrolone, Osterine, you have to use it over. You have to regiment your use. So that's all I wanted to say.
No, I was gonna say the same thing, because like, that whole situation, it being with him being connected to Vada the way he is, and it's like, bro, like I don't know, bro, like that's just very fishy. Even if like just we could just say hypothetically, say for instance, Victor did actually mess with the test results. Brian don't have no way out of that situation, because you can't prove that if you giving them all the supplements that you taking and they find that it's nothing inside of these supplements that's contaminated, bro, you cooked.
But listen, I wouldn't say that they would lie on somebody and say that they took something when they didn't.
That's why I said hypothetically. I ain't saying he actually did it, but
what I'm saying is that they control pretty much, like the other guy said, most guys are on something, right? So they control when they put out that a guy popped, they control that, right? So the timing of this getting put out, like till after the fight and stuff like that, they were going to let Ryan fight. You know what I'm saying? This is my belief. They were going to let Ryan fight, and they thought that he was going to lose anyway, so they didn't care, right? And he let him take a little juice so the fight will be a little bit more exciting, but he's going to lose anyway. He beats Devin's ass, so it's like, hold up. Well, you're on Nandrolone and Osterine. Put that out. So now it's like he has to get suspended, and Devin Haney gets his face back for getting his ass whooped and stuff like that. Probably gets his undefeated record back and stuff like that. So it's a setup, but it's not, because you really did do the steroids. But
it's like a backup plan. You saying?
Yeah, that's the backup plan that I see.
Because it's happened before.
Yeah.
All right. Shout out to a Kilo Netter with the $5 holla in the Cash App. He says supporting the grind. I really appreciate that. All right, let's get back to the video.
Ryan Garcia passed all of his vigorous drug tests leading up to the fight, but then suddenly tested positive for the tests that were taken the day before the fight, which was April the 19th, and the day of the fight, which was April the 20th. However, the test results were not sent out by VADA until May the 1st, which was 11 full days after the fight. As you can see here, Dan Raphael posted the VADA letter he received, and it is dated for May the 1st. Oh, and remember this name, Kim Sumbler. ESPN released a report on their website on May the 1st also, through an article posted by Mike Coppinger. No news outlet was aware of this story until May the 1st, 11 days after the fight. So no one knew. Well, no one knew except Devin Haney's brother, Sean Haney. Sean Haney posted a very bizarre video on his social media page on April the 23rd, only 3 days after the fight, stating that Ryan Garcia was going to test positive for a drug test.
Ryan did everything wrong and won, but like I said, no excuses. All glory be to Allah. But something crazy though is I was on the prayer mat today, and Allah was just telling me he's going to test positive for his drug test. Keeps going in my brain, and I'm like, no excuses. I mean, everything happens for a reason. And he keeps saying he's going to test positive for his drug test. He's going to test positive for his drug test. Yeah, but we'll see what happens. Like I said, all glory be to Allah.
So Devin Haney's brother says repeatedly, Ryan Garcia is going to test positive for a drug test. He's going to test positive for a drug test. no one else finds out until 11 days after the fight, but you somehow find out 3 days after the fight through some type of telepathic intervention. Listen, we are not against the Muslim faith. We respect all of the faiths around the world, but we want to be clear and say, we do not believe him. We don't believe him at all. Yes, he knew Ryan Garcia was going to test positive, but we do not believe it was Allah that told him. Big mistake here. Before we finish, let's acknowledge a few crucial developments. 1, Ryan Garcia has been cleared for one of the banned substances, which was 19-norendrosterone, so that only leaves ostarine to be cleared. This is critical. Number 2.
Now, real quick, I seen Bill Haney do a video that said Ryan Garcia tested positive for 4 PEDs in his system. Now, well, how do y'all feel about what happened to Paid in Full? How do y'all feel about these commercials and things that Bill Haney has been doing about this? Like, how do y'all feel about that with the ominous music in the background, making the test results, the B test look like a movie trailer? Like, how do y'all feel about that? You got anything on that VA Money Group?
I mean, he's in the entertainment business. You know what I'm saying? So everything he does in the name, we have to assume that it's in the name of entertainment, building interest in his brand, and etc. You know what I mean?
So you just see it as part of, he's just still trying to entertain.
Yeah.
Okay. But what about the misinformation? Like, he tested positive for 4 that wasn't true.
Well, Dan Raphael said that he tested positive on 4 different blood tests. So those 2 A's and 2 B's.
No. Oh, I thought he said he tested positive for 4 different PEDs in his system.
I mean, that might have been what Bill said. But what I'm saying is that you could say it's misinformation, but that's the game that these people play. Like, I'm in the comment section, and there's this guy named Dat Boy that's saying that he got cleared for Nandrolone. And what I'm saying is that he popped for Nandrolone. But Vada did say that he was cleared for Nandrolone. But I'm trying to, what my point is that you guys are giving credence to an organization that we now know is corrupt. I've known this for years. They're a corrupt organization, but you still are in a position where you have to believe everything they say because you don't know about what steroids actually are, how they're administered, how, if you're taking steroids, how you would get popped for them and stuff like that. Like, none of you guys in the chat know, so you guys have to just repeat what you read off the internet. Literally,
right.
So Vada said this, so this has to be true because Vada said it. It's like, dude.
And that's kind of why you got to kind of speculate and question a little bit. Shout out to JL Clay 84 for the $5 holla in the Cash App. I appreciate it. All right, let's get this finished up. We almost done.
Remember the name Kim Sumler that was on the VADA letter that revealed Ryan Garcia's positive tests? She is the head of the New York State Athletic Commission, and ironically, she just resigned from the organization. She stepped down and resigned in the middle of this very bizarre case. The timing is very interesting. Number 3, Devin Haney and his attorney have written a letter to the New York State Athletic Commission complaining about Ryan Garcia and requesting that Devin Haney be declared the winner of the fight against Ryan Garcia. In this letter, they actually complain about Ryan Garcia being 3 pounds overweight, which is absurd considering Devin Haney's history of excessive weight gain and illegal rehydration tactics. Haney literally violated the rehydration rules in his last fight. Yet now his attorney writes a letter complaining about Ryan Garcia's 3 pounds and also demands to be declared the winner of the fight. This has never been done in boxing. This is completely absurd and hypocritical. Here is the worst part. We know how Devin Haney's brother found out a week early about Garcia's positive tests. We know how Ryan Garcia tested positive in the first place. We know why and how Devin Haney gains excessive amounts of weight after weigh-ins. We know why Victor Conte supports Devin Haney so seriously.
I'm going to tell you something that we've never disclosed to anybody before, okay? And what we're working on, we've been working on this, and I'll tell you some of the names because they're already, this has been written about in the boxing magazines.
Okay.
It's Dr. Margaret Hitler. It's Dr. Flip Pomansky. I'm involved. And there's also another very high-profile anti-doping, world-renowned expert involved. We'll reveal who this is shortly, but he's one of the most credible people in the world of anti-doping. Has agreed to be involved. So, and it's called VADA. And VADA, V-A-D-A, stands for Voluntary Anti-Doping Agency. So this is what you're probably reading between the lines here. You know, what have I been talking with Zav about? What have I been talking with Donito about? What have I been talking with Virgil Hunter, the trainer of Andre Ward, about? We've been working on this since September of last year. And we hope to implement in the near future.
And until we get a reasonable explanation from Ryan, the burden of proof is on him to prove there was no intent to cheat. Because otherwise, I don't care if somebody snuck into your room and spiked your toothpaste, you're going to be responsible. The burden is on him.
You're the biggest cheater in the history of the fucking sports world. And now because you can't make a living cheating anymore, you want to flip the other side and start calling people out and pointing fingers? I can't believe anybody even listens to this guy. Anybody even quotes this guy. Victor Conte is a two-faced piece of shit.
Well, have you heard his position though? Why
I don't care what his position is. He's a scumbag.
But I'm definitely not on that Ryan Garcia pack because I heard it's laced with PEDs. Yeah, see you on the 22nd.
Like I said, this guy showed his character. He showed that he would do anything to win, including cheat. A guy that would do anything to win.
I've never seen a bigger inside job in my life. Do your research. It's an inside fucking job. Victor Conte literally helped create VADA. Look it up. And this dude got banned from baseball, but we let him in boxing. What kind of bullshit is that? Snap is fucking gross. First of all, I remember I did work with them just for a fucking, some payment back in the day. But guess what? I never even took them fucking supplements because I always felt like it was cheating. These motherfuckers are known cheaters. They know how to cheat. They know how to mask. And guess what? They know how to taint shit. Because they just take my greatest victory. But isn't it funny that everybody popped for Austrian? Why is it that everybody popped for Austrian? Come on, man. This is an inside fucking job.
We know how Devin Haney's brother found out a week earlier about Garcia's positive tests. We know how Ryan Garcia tested positive in the first place. We know why and how Devin Haney gains excessive amounts of weight after weigh-ins. We know why Victor Conte supports Devin Haney so seriously.
Man, Barbara D says, 2 cents. So glad you took the time to talk about this documentary. Again, it's an excellent show. Listen, I absolutely appreciate that. This is my first time watching it along with y'all, and this is a pretty good documentary. Put a 1 in the chat if you think this documentary is a little biased or if you think it's kind of accurate. I also think they should do a documentary about Ryan Garcia. I think they should do both. I hope they do both. Again, this is the Exodus Files. If anybody wants to go back and look up this documentary, and this is the only video on their page. So I guess they just started their channel and they decided to drop this Devin Haney interview. But what do you guys think about Ryan Garcia questioning why do so many people pop for Austrian? I don't know if y'all seen that video from WADA where they were saying that so many people, so many athletes have been testing for Austrian because a lot of these companies are either adding Austrian to their products so they can work better, or they're not cleaning the equipment properly, and then they're making supplements for other companies, which is causing the contamination. Now, I don't think what a lot of people is overlooking is the real problem here. Honestly, apart from all this is the supplement companies and their questionable practices and how they're not approved by the FDA and they're allowed to put stuff in their products and not put them on the label. And it's if you even just start to research the supplement industry, you will be surprised at what you find. But let's get back to the video.
Seriously, there is information that will be coming directly from the inside of VADA and the inside of Devin Haney's camp, which brings us back to this strange image of Devin Haney. What's so strange about this image is that this video of Devin Haney was recorded 12 days after the fight, and he looks massive. Why is his skull so large? And why is the rest of his body so swollen? In comparison, he seems so swelled up at a much greater rate than Ryan Garcia only 12 days after the fight. So now we've laid the groundwork so that you can see the big picture of what's going on. We actually don't want to release the details because the information that we have can be very bad for several people if the details are released. However, if this deceptive plan continues, we will have to release the details because we're just tired of it.
What is that supposed to mean? What deceptive details? Come on, bro. I mean, is this a warning shot to somebody or y'all? What is this? What deceptive details that you don't want to release because it'll be bad for other people? Shit, I want to know.
We will watch to see how this all plays out, and then we will make our decision. Is Devin Haney really the face of boxing? Is he really the best fighter in the world? Is he really better than Floyd Mayweather? Or is he a boxer that is a part of one of the biggest fraudulent pushes in modern boxing history? You be the judge.
Whoo! Not history. All right, y'all. What did y'all think about that documentary? Let me know and drop it below. And if you're watching the replay of this live, please leave the comments and let me know your 2 cents. VA Money Group, what you got?
Man, I just want to say that this documentary was super biased. This guy is a hater. He's anti-Devin Haney. And here's the problem that I have in society today. We can't, like, people are scared to be called racist, right? That's a problem, right? Because I back the black fighter almost every time. I want to see Devin Haney win. I wanted to see Devin Haney beat Ryan Garcia's ass. It didn't happen, right? I accepted it. But now that we know he's cheating, the other side, they have to accept that also, right? And when I like I know you don't like the racial aspect, but it's so relevant. Where are all these people, these fans coming from who just want to see a fight, who don't want to root for anybody? Why are you here? If you just want to see some competition, go watch UFC, go back to football, go back to baseball, or wherever the fuck you guys are from. This is not the sport for you. This is a sport for racist people like myself.
What you mean this is a sport for racist people, bro? What does that mean?
It is. That's what it is.
But let me ask you a question. What about the video what was so biased to you about the video? Like, if you could just kind of explain why you feel as though, besides he just hating, like what was about the video you felt was so biased?
I mean, everything he said pretty much. He's talking about he's talking about Ryan Garcia. People were trashing him before he got a fair trial, before they had to do research on all of the circumstances. And
anybody in the chat, what did y'all feel was so biased? Like, did he tell any lies? Did he exaggerate anything? Like, what did you feel was so biased?
It's the angle that he was taking. He was taking angles to where he's trying to take the credibility away from the positive test, and then he's trying to take the credibility away from Devin Haney and his career, saying that Devin Haney only fights smaller fighters. But Devin Haney's 5'8", fighting at 135. What do you want him to do? He fought Lomachenko. Lomachenko moved up 2 weight classes. What, is he not supposed to fight Lomachenko? If he didn't fight Lomachenko, we would say he ducked. We would have said he ducked Lomachenko. He fought Lomachenko. He won the fight. Oh, you beat a smaller fighter. He shows up and fought Regis Prograis. He rehydrates to 160 or whatever. Oh, why'd you rehydrate to so much? This is boxing. That's not illegal. right? And if it was illegal, then that's on Regis to police that, right? Is there something in your contract that says, hey, for every pound that you rehydrate over the limit, you got to pay me? That's like, what are you complaining about? You get what I'm saying? Like, so all that is just like nonsense. You're just talking. And then there's people in the chat agreeing with him, like, yeah, he's a weight bully and all this other stupid ass shit. I mean, it's confusing because it's like, it's a very indirect way of talking, the way these people talk. They're scared to say what they are. Listen, if you don't like, if you're a Mexican fan and you don't like Devin Haney, feel free to say fuck this M-bomb. I want him to get beat half to death. You know what I'm saying? I don't care about steroids. Fuck that nigga. Say that. Don't get up here and be trying to explain in this new like colorblind lingo that you guys are using why Devin Haney's in the wrong because Ryan Garcia got popped for steroids. It doesn't make any sense.
Let me address this by Q Brown. He says Ryan is on camera saying he didn't take any supplements. Then Ryan, his mother and father turned around and said he took a lot of supplements. And that's one of my biggest issues with Ryan is like, you're running around saying all these things and quote unquote trolling and this and that, but you're going to be held to these things that you're saying. So it's making you look like a hypocrite or that you lying because you're just trying to say stupid. Like, just be quiet. Yeah. Just hush. Like, I feel like him and Devin Haney just both need to be quiet, especially Ryan, because you already been trolling before the fight, which is why people believe you cheating in the first place. They not giving you no benefit of the doubt because all the antics you was pulling before the fight. After the fight, you talking about you miss weight on purpose when you clearly spent 11 hours damn near about to kill yourself with a person that specializes in helping you cut weight, and nobody believes that. And now you sitting here talking about you ain't take no, like, just be quiet because it's destroying your credibility, bro. It's destroying your credibility. But go ahead, Payton Fool.
No, I agree, but I don't feel like the video was biased. I think they just point out shit, obvious connections and shit like that. I don't feel like it's biased though, at all. Because everything that he pretty much was saying in that video was damn near facts, unless somebody can debunk it.
I mean, but I think the issue is, and I can kind of see where people are coming from, is that Ryan was the one that popped dirty. Why is the attention on Devin Haney and what he's been doing? But the issue is what you've been doing. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
So if you've been doing something that people can point out and attack, that's what's going to happen.
No, for sure. And I agree. That's why I said I think it should be a two-way street. And I agree with you, 2 Cent.
A two-way street after one guy pops for steroids?
Can you say that again?
You said a two-way street after one guy pops for steroids?
No, I'm saying if you're going to do a documentary, I feel like you could do a documentary on both fighters. Is what I'm saying.
Oh, okay. I thought you were talking about a two-way street as far as like everybody.
No, they definitely do need to come out with a Ryan Garcia documentary. I hope somebody see this documentary and come out with the documentary. But how did y'all feel about that statement that he made at the end? Like, we know what's going on, but if we say something, it's going, you know what I'm saying? Like, I like, what's going on?
I think that's a selling tool. I think that's a selling tool because I feel like if you put all that information out, you might as well put all the information out. You ain't finna just withhold no information unless it's a marketing strategy included with it. That's how I kind of see it.
Yeah, and I agree with Miss Barbara D. I'm sick of Ryan as well. Devin should have never taken this fight. He saw all the shenanigans going on. I am sick of Ryan. Like,
yeah,
they just really hijacked boxing. He ruined a good fight with this PED stuff. But really, my thing is like, Ryan took the PEDs, but honestly, I feel like the media needs to take some accountability too, because they're the ones that released this information to the public. And then like within 45 minutes, it was tons of videos about this stuff. And then it's ton of misinformation. It's people saying stuff that ain't true. It's people putting out misinformation. It's people misdirecting people about the situation. They should have just like kept it quiet. And then once everything was over, came out and said what they had to say, because now people taking sides and everything is so divided.
When you say kept it quiet till everything is over, what is over?
Like, let's get through the B sample, him trying to prove whatever, you know what I'm saying, his supplements, the due process or whatever. Yeah, let's like just because
the due process is your sample getting taken to a lab and them looking through your sample to see if you have drugs that are not supposed to be there. And that when they released that initial report, that is what that is. You know what I mean?
But also, he got his lawyers saying, I don't know if how true it is, but they also saying that the performance enhancing that he had no effect on the fight.
Let me make this statement. Let me make this statement. You said, what do we feel about the secret information that this guy says that he has that he wants released? I believe it was what I just said about VADA being a corrupt organization and them just being gatekeepers for steroids and performance enhancers being used in the sport of boxing. And we can there's a running joke. There's a running joke amongst like hardcores and some casuals about like the record of top fighters. You're always going to see
Wait, VA, you fading out.
Yo.
Okay, go ahead.
I was going to say that there's a running joke about like the record between top rate fighters versus PBC fighters, and that you'll see like top rate fighters always dominate PBC fighters, and that you can kind of make like a connection from Bob Arum to VADA and also Victor Conte to VADA, and how their fighters do well while the fight is being VADA tested. And
then you notice if you search a because I searched a lot of corruption in boxing. That's kind of like my thing I like to do. A lot of top ranked fighters been cheating in like if you look back for corruption in history.
No, for sure.
A lot of that stuff was going on at top rank.
Yeah, for sure. No, I agree. I'll be on that as well. 2 cents.
Yeah.
But there's one more thing I want to.
VA, I'm gonna let you finish up, and then I'm gonna let Mr. Greg go. I'm a little bit past my time, but I'm gonna let Mr. Greg get his 2 cents off. Go ahead, VA.
All right, so this is gonna kill it. I know a lot of you guys don't understand what steroids are and anything like that, but this is gonna kill it, right? So, a few years ago, Dylan White fought Oscar Rivas, right? In that fight, before the fight, he popped for Dianabol, right? Dianabol is an anabolic steroid. Right, he was being drug tested by UCAD and VADA, right? He popped on the VADA test. You can still go online and research this, but I think what was it like 3 days before he got that adverse that before the sample was taken for UCAD and he popped, he was also tested for VADA, and 9 days after he was tested again for VADA, he came back clean both times. So there you go.
Mr. Greg, thank you for joining us today. What's your 2 cents about this whole situation? I know you missed most of the documentary. I hope you go back and take a look at it.
But we're still on what I believe is what has happened to boxing. Money got involved with boxing, and all the good and bad things that comes with it has poured in as well. There's so much money in a short period of time that you can make from boxing that it's been compelling different fighters to cross the line, to go up to the line. And then, of course, we now have social media. So you have what I think is just an ongoing soap opera in the world of boxing. You got Ryan acting, I've always said Ryan is really losing it, but you got other fighters doing similar stuff with trolling, saying different things. You got their fathers involved, getting attention. But when we talk about the steroids and the PEDs and things of that nature, that's going to continue until boxing is governed by one body who makes all the decisions, and you either play by the rules or you don't get to play it at all.
I think that might make it more corrupt.
It could, but you can trace it.
The name of that organization is called NSAC.
But you can trace it easier. See, right now you got all of these entities who have a certain amount of power, and a guy like, say, Victor Conte can be useful when he needs to be useful. See, he can be the guy who you can blame everything on, or you can be the guy that, okay, let's maybe his snack, and you know I take snack as well. So you can always have those programs that you say, well, let's use his program for everybody. So you have so many different things to me that's going on in boxing. And then, of course, now you got YouTube. You got the boxing podcasts out here who are exposing things. Sometimes
Mhm.
they're confusing things. Sometimes they're finding information that you would think the powers that be would know about, but are not saying it because it doesn't benefit them. So we talk about a lot of great things, and I think that's a good thing that boxing fans want to see a good sport that's helped so many black men. I'll use the color too. Uh, get out a life that was not so good for them to come up and maybe take care of their families to some degree. That's now being sort of stained more. You already had characters in boxing, coming out of jail, doing this and doing that, but you have a sport that still can help a lot of males do a little better in their life. And now it's being ruined even further by these controversies about, are you cheating? Um, are you trolling? Is this information true? Is this information not? You got people who are purposely putting out information that they know is going to cause a whole bunch of alarm. It's going to cause a lot of controversy and so forth, but they do it for their own particular purposes. So I just think what's happening with this case, Ryan has really made this worse than it has to be, because he has, as you said, he hasn't set up most of these young fighters now today. And I've said this about one of the guys I favor needs to just shut up, stop talking, let this play out. Because the moment you start posting videos, the moment you get your other family members involved trying to defend you, you confuse everything. You just add more fuel to the fire. I mean, we got all these different positions here on this panel, and everybody I think it has a legitimate statements and beliefs and so forth, but it's all different. But it all comes from the fact that two fighters who did so much in making this fight happen, and then when this comes up, now both of them is doing just as much as making it so confused. You got Bill Haney asking for Ryan to be banned for life from boxing. You got Ryan saying it's a conspiracy that somebody, tainted his test. You got lawsuits now flying. Everybody's just gone berserk, over, and it's a fight. But the fight after the fight is the real problem here, because we're fighting about stuff and we're not, of course, we're not getting money out of it, but we do want to see good fights and we do want to see the sport cleaned. And a channel like yours and others who are out there who allow people to come in and voice their opinions and be honest and be intelligent about it can help. But these fighters got to realize, hey, this is a business that y'all are part of, and you have to start acting more like businessmen as well as athletes. Until then, stupid stuff like what's going on now is going to continue. I don't know how this is going to play out. It seems like it's going to drag on a little bit longer until the next person gets popped who's trying to make some money, who thinks he's going to get away with it. And most of them are not getting away with it anymore. And that's what they're not getting either. Somebody thinks I'm going to be the one that I'll get away with what little stuff I do or be going up to the line. And that's not the case. I mean, this happened after the fight was over. And here we are. And here we are.
Yep.
Yeah, I wish that documentary, and I'll stop in a minute. That documentary that you were playing, that just came out, right?
Yeah, it came out 2 days ago.
Yeah, I have to watch that, because this guy who did the documentary, he's trying to make a name for himself. I think somebody sort of alluded to that. He's trying to make it look like I got more than what he really has, and y'all should be watching for me because I'm about to reveal something. I get that too. He wants view, and that's the point. He wants views as well. He wants to hear attention as well. But does he have anything that's worthwhile?
Right. Well, I want to thank everybody for coming up on the panel. VA Money Group, you welcome up here anytime. Mr. Greg, thanks for coming up.
Sure.
You want to say something, VA?
I was just saying thank you.
Oh, okay. Listen, I just want to let everybody know this is 2 Cent Boxing. where we talk everything boxing and everybody's entitled to their own opinion. This isn't a platform where you have to come up here and agree, or you're going to get cussed out and blocked and all that for your opinion. We don't do that over here. I definitely like talking to people, and I especially like talking to people that have a different perspective or point of view than me. So be sure if you enjoyed today's live that you punch that like button and make sure you subscribe to the channel. If you're listening to the replay of this live, be sure to let me know and drop below your 2 cents about what you think. I want to thank everybody that came up on the panel today to talk about their 2 cents. I really appreciate it. And, you know, this Ryan situation is wild. It's crazy. You know, everybody got their own opinions about it. And like I said at the beginning of this live, I'll say it again. It is whatever you think it is. We've all been presented with the same facts. We've all been presented with the same information. And whatever you feel it is whatever it is in your opinion. I'm just really sick of all the controversy after big fights in boxing. I just want to get a big fight. We get a winner and we're able to move on. All the this and that after the big fights, like I think it's getting a little ridiculous, but I mean, it is what it is. It's good for me. I'm a content creator, so it gives me things to talk about and come on here with you guys and talk about. But again, be sure to punch that like and subscribe button. Make sure you let me know and drop it below. Make sure you help support the channel. You could do that by sending the Cash App to 2 Cents Boxing. I'm not monetized yet. I'm at 905 subscribers. So if you haven't hit that subscribe button, be sure to hit the subscribe button. I'm almost to 1,000. I'm almost there, guys. I've been really, really busy lately, so I haven't been able to drop, videos like I would like to. But my schedule is about to change, so I will be able to drop more videos. You can join me here live every Sunday at 5 p.m. I will be going live from 5 to 7. So make sure you guys are here again next Sunday to join me live. We'll see what the topic will be. We'll probably still be talking about this Ryan and Devin stuff. I don't know, but we do got some big fights coming up. I hear my boy Earl Spencer be back in the ring in October. I know I didn't get to talk about that today, but maybe we'll chit chat about that next week. But I want to thank everybody for coming by and spending your time with me. To everybody that sent the Cash App, I just want to let you know that it is greatly, greatly appreciated. So let me know and drop it below your 2 cents if you're listening to the replay. And thank you for joining me today.
Thank you.